going on, my friends? We're here today to talk about The Water Magician. This was episode number 8, and I am so happy to report, and I'm I'm generally over the moon that this show keeps getting better. It's not too often that we're 6, 7, 8 episodes in and the quality increases. Typically, it kind of keeps the same pacing, or usually it dips down. But I'm very happy to report that The Water Magician has done this, like, it's at a bar that was like, it was a, don't get me wrong, it was saying the bar of like, it was a decent to good anime somewhere in there, but it's increasingly gone up in quality, in my personal opinion. There were moments of brilliance, right? Like Ryou and the Fairy King, Ryou and the Dragon, Ryou and Abel, them setting out, for the first time, Ryou leaving home. There was moments of brilliance, but like overall, there was like, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's really good animation, and the rest, it's like it's okay, but it's been getting better and better. And last week when Ryou jumped in, fell in, whatever you want to say, but he came in and he dropped in like a water god. It was pretty badass. And the main criticism I had last week was like, I wish that they just kind of finished the scene, but they left it off on that cliffhanger. So this week we come back and it's a continuation. Ryou is just, mocking the crap out of the demon prince. He's like, yo, you're a demon prince? Like, you're a demon punk. You're a demon nuttin'. You're a demon, a demon poo-poo. You know what I mean? And he's just mocking him. And then he hits him with like, I don't even think you understand me. So it's like, it's all love, but you about to get cut down. And he cuts his head off like in a quickness. And he's like, all right, you regenerate. So he does his little water move. I was like, God damn. His water move was dope. Like, he had streams coming in everywhere. And then he's like, it's so weird that this is like a demon prince. He's like, because, the other girl that I fought, she referenced herself as an 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿, or he referenced her as an 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿, and she agreed. And he's like, what's the difference between a demon or, devil or demon and an 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿? Like, that's a valid question. Like, that's a question that I had as he was saying that too. It's like, what is the difference between a devil or a demon and an 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿? Like, apparently they're stronger because later on in the show, they say, oh, you want an answer? Let me give you an answer, kind of. They showed the girl that he fought, right? Because they're talking about like demons and demon princes, and they're talking about like, oh, these creatures are known to have like spatial magic. So then they show the 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿, the girl that he fought, and she's using spatial magic to go and find the hero. Now, apparently the hero is somewhere in this world, and the hero is trying to take down the demon lord, or at least a demon lord. And they're in a, not pedestal, but they're in like a place of like sacrifice. And she beams in. She's like, "Oh, look at a little trinket. Like, I'm gonna get me that toy right there." And that's the demon lord stuff. And she's like, "Oh no, demon lords, like, you could take a demon lord down. Like your hero, you can take him down. But I'm no demon lord. Like, they're demon lords ain't nothing. You know what I mean?" So they made that distinction that like 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿, if you're familiar with like a show like The Beginning After the End, like the manga or the light novel Beginning After the End, there's like demons and stuff, but then there's like this extra race on top of everybody that's like a god race. And that race tries not to really intervene with the things that go on in the world. So my mind is, there's humans and there's heroes. There's demons and demon lords, which are like monsters essentially. And then on top of those, you have 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 and dragons and like, sentient beings, fairy lords or whatever. Like you have like another additional bracket of races is my assumption. But she fights the hero. She's like, man, she's like, yo, I gotta be real with you, hero. You ain't shit. She was like, you need to go and find your boy Ryou, because he gave me a run for my money. But like he's 1,000 times stronger than you. And the hero goes, somebody's stronger than me. And she's like, yeah, he's way stronger than you, kid. and it was funny. So I thought that was funny. And I was like, oh, this is how Ryou's going to get baited into this hero nonsense shenanigans, is because he got his name dropped with the real hero, quote unquote, with the real hero. And I wonder if the actual hero is a reincarnator as well, too. Or maybe he's just just the chosen hero or whatever. But I love that. And then at the end of the episode, we got a ton of we got Sarah, the elf girl, and I want to say fan service, but we got like, him and her, and she fought him. They did like a sword trading, sword fight, and she saw how strong Ryou was, and he was blocking and bopping and weaving her and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the guildmaster gives him a job at the end to go and do a like an escort job. So I thought that was pretty fun too. So we're gonna see what ends up happening next week. But overall, this episode was dope. You know, we got to see some cool fights, some good animation, and we got a lot of good context about the show as well. So overall, I think this episode for me was like an 8, or like if I gave halves these, I just to go 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would say it's like 8.5 out of 10, but this was an 8 out of 10. It was a really, really good episode of Water Magician. So yeah, those are my thoughts, my friends. Let me know yours in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week for episode number 9. Peace.